Okay, are we live? We're
Mhm.
live. Okay. Hello everybody. I don't know if we have anybody on here today, but we are having our first financial literacy boot camp today, and we have Shauna
Thornton.
Thornton. It's hard to pronounce, from Northrim Bank, and she's going to do a Q&A session with me on personal finance and college finance. So we had some questions that we came up with, some common questions. We invited students to send us questions, and if you have anything that we don't cover, please feel free to email me and we'll try to pull them up. Okay, so the first question we came up with is, I completed my FAFSA, what now? A lot of students don't know that when you complete your FAFSA, you need to be looking at your emails from the federal student aid or from your university and answer any of the questions or requirements or requests that they have right away. And if you don't understand what you need to do, then you need to contact me or a financial aid office and take care of that. A lot of students don't know how to accept their aid package. We have instructions on our UA Online Sitka campus site, our UAS Sitka campus site under the PEPs. The same thing, how much do I borrow? You need to kind of do a budget and see what you're going to need and only borrow what you need. If you have an emergency, you can always request the additional amount. We have instructions on how to accept aid on our site. And then, was there anything you wanted to cover?
Not on that part.
Yeah.
Just be careful and don't borrow more than you need because you will have to pay it back.
hmm And then you were talking about how they need to set up their um, student loans on auto pay.
Right. If it was me, I would set my student loans up to be on auto pay, and that way you're never late. Because when your student loans go into default, then that affects not only your credit, but it also can lead to things like garnishments and things that you won't like. So it's easy to put them on auto pay. You can do that at the financial aid website.
hmm
And so you would need to have a bank account to do that. And you can, to get a bank account, what you typically need to do is go into your bank of choice, and you will need to bring your ID with you and something with your current address on it. What they'll do from there is they, put in all of your information and issue debit cards and checks or whatever. And you need to make sure that you keep money in your bank account.
That's the big problem.
Yeah, that's always hard.
Yeah. And then one of the other things I'm not sure about is, do students need to worry about building credit?
Everybody should worry about building credit. And the ways that you can build your credit is through with your student loans. If you're currently repaying them, all of your payments being on time, those things go and directly affect your credit score as well too.
hmm
As do car payments. Sometimes your rentals will, if you're under a lease. If you default on those things, and people get into collection situations, those things are always reported on your credit report as well too. So you want to be really careful that anytime that someone is extending you credit,
hmm
or that you have a bank account or a credit card or car loan, that you always keep those things current, because each time they report monthly,
hmm
and well, it will show whether you've paid on time or not.
Okay.
And those things will follow you forever.
All right. So a lot of college students are getting multiple credit card offers.
Yes, it's credit card offers are okay, and I'm not going to say they're bad, but there you need to make sure that you're a savvy-minded consumer. You need to check things like interest rates. Some of them have like a 0% for so many months, and you'll need to see what that after so many months, what the interest rate will be. And you need to comparison shop, because if you're getting one credit card offer, you may apply, you may be eligible for one that has a better offer. So be prudent And definitely, if you're using your credit card, good rule of thumb is that whatever you're charging, you need to pay off at the end of the month, or you need to not use it the following month and pay it over 2 months so that you don't get overextended, is what they would call that,
Mm-hmm.
because that affects your credit too.
Yeah.
Because your debt ratio, if you have, let's say, for example, you make $1,000 a month, typically most people, we try to not have people go over 40%.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll need to make sure that that's kind of calculated into your budget. You don't want to carry a lot of credit card debt on various, cards, because then
Mm-hmm.
it shows your debt ratios being too high and you possibly will not get that new car,
Yeah. Or the new home.
or yeah, or a lot of things.
Yeah. And then another thing we are always worried about, a lot of students worry about, is not having enough money when the semester starts. And we want to caution you not to spend all of your money or all of your student loan from the previous semester and hold on to $500-$600 just to cover any expenses that might come up at the beginning of the semester before your financial aid package is released. What about personal finance?
Personal finance is almost like student loan finance. You should have a budget. You need to prepare for how much your housing is going to cost, groceries, gas, daycare,
Hmm.
other things, and you need to just write a whole list down, and you can calculate that monthly, and then you can calculate that out of your student aid or from your job. So
Hmm.
that way you can prepare so that you're not caught in a negative situation.
So my income should be more than what my expenses are?
Yeah. Darn it. The other thing is too is to remember, if you are a little short and you think, oh, it's okay, I'm just going to go ahead and use my debit card. If you do have an overdraft at the bank, usually what happens is, just in my experience, is you go out to lunch and it's $20, and then you have a $30 overdraft fee. So your lunch now costs you $50.
Yeah.
So
And then you
you
stop
have
and
to be
get a coffee on
careful.
the way back to work and charge that to your debit card. So your coffee turned into
Your
a
coffee turned into a
30
$30 cup of
coffee.
coffee. So
Yeah.
it's really important to know your fees and to know
Hmm.
your schedule, what those fees are from your bank for those types of things.
Hmm.
When you open your account, you will always be told what the fees are, and they will be in the mound of paperwork that you get, that I highly suggest that you read,
Hmm.
just so that you understand what your charges are going to be for different things that you'll be using.
Okay. What else? What else can we talk
Online
about?
banking.
Okay.
Please get online banking. Online banking can save you from a lot of either fraud or from overdrafts,
Hmm.
because you're able to pull up your phone and you're able to see your balances in real time
Hmm.
for the most part. Then, if
Okay.
you're using your debit card and you're not using your PIN number with it, it runs like a credit card. So you can have a few out there that you're not expecting, but
Hmm.
it keeps you a little closer to, especially if you're running really close to zero,
Hmm.
which not everybody can have thousands of dollars. So,
What about identity theft? I mean, I used my debit card on a trip and somebody got a hold of it and was trying to got
yeah.
$200 out of my account and was trying to get more. What
Yes.
advice?
Online banking is another good way, because you can monitor your account and you can see fraudulent charges come through quickly. The
Hmm.
other thing is that if your bank is on the phone calling you or texting you, please answer. It's amazing how many people I will call to ask them if these are, charges that they've done, or, hey, I noticed some strange activity and I can't get a hold of them. And I know I have their cell phone numbers. And then they'll come in a couple of days later and they'll say, gosh, I didn't know this was happening. And if you have online banking, you'll be well aware of what's happening,
Hmm.
especially in the, because fraud is one of those things that we try to keep ahead of, but it's constantly evolving. It's just like the internet, or just like cars. We keep making them better and better, and so as our fraud protection gets better, they find new ways to break through.
Yeah.
And so you can never be too safe. If somebody calls you and asks you for the information and says, hi, I'm from the student loan place or whatever it is, they don't call you.
Yeah. No.
And you can always say, if you're worried about it, just say, I'm going to call you back.
Hmm.
And don't ask for their phone number because they'll give you their number that's the fake one.
Yeah.
So look it up and call someone you know
Okay.
or go into the branch.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Hmm. I was gonna say when you go into the bank, make sure that you ask. They have different products that are available, and you can
Mm-hmm.
look on their websites typically. They can range anywhere from lending to credit cards to different types of accounts,
Mm-hmm.
savings accounts. And you want to look at things like interest rate, how many, and if you're doing lending, make sure you look at payments,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that these things all fit into your budgets.
All right. Okay. Well, I don't know.
I don't know any other ones.
Yeah.
Unless somebody has a specific one.
I haven't seen any questions come through. Do you know where those would pop up? Somebody was.
In the chat.
Okay. Yeah, we have nobody in the chat, so I guess we have been talking to ourselves.
Well, we've
That's-
had a girl.
it was
Somebody's
good.
going to read these or
It was
listen
great
later.
practice, and hopefully someone will enjoy it later, and hopefully we provided some information.
Right.
Where or like what's the contact of questions, or is there a place they can find like resources for budgeting or any websites you would follow or prefer?
Actually, for budgeting, you can actually, Word has them and you can find them with Google, or you can
Mhm.
step into your bank. They'll help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
We typically, on any of the bank websites, there's usually calculators that you can use to calculate payments. You can calculate mortgage payments, loan payments, student loan payments, and there's budget information on the student loan website as well.
Yes, there is. Our
They're
financial aid sites
plethora of
have all that
information.
information too.
And if you do need help with doing your first budget, because it's always a little tough doing the first one,
Mm-hmm.
get a rough idea out, go into your bank. You can go into the financial aid office, contact a friend that you trust,
Mm-hmm.
and just sit down and look at it and go from there. But it is important to have a budget.
Yeah.
Are there any like expenses that you find students don't expect? Surprise things that are worth mentioning that always come up?
My computer breaking during finals. That's usually what happens to me. Is it's usually some kind of a technical glitch. I know when I was attending UAS online from Kenai and doing my master's program, that's when my computer broke.
Yeah.
Right at the end when I was doing my capstone project.
Mm-hmm. I think like emergencies like vehicles breaking down or
Kids getting sick.
kids getting sick or they're sick, those unexpected things that no one plans for and builds savings, builds a savings to help cover those emergencies. So that's really important too, is to always have a nice chunk of change in the savings for those emergencies and that peace of mind.
And typically speaking, when we're looking at starting a budget, we usually say take 1% of whatever it is you're putting in and put away in a savings account.
Mm-hmm.
If you're working, have at least 1 month of salary put away, just in case, because the flu rolls around and you're out of work for a couple of weeks. If you don't have vacation or sick time, it can be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of important to save more than you spend. And then some days you're going to end up in the emergency situation and you're going to spend more than you save. But it's important to get right back on track and keep doing the saving.
Yeah, it is. And April is Financial Literacy Month, and that is why we are trying to get this information out to you. You can join our iGrad program. Our CSTAR Challenge program will start again in the summer and the fall, but you're always welcome to contact me to log on to our iGrad financial literacy tool, and we'll help you plan any aspect of your your personal finances or your college finances. You can call me at 907-9, no, I'm sorry. Don't want to give you my personal phone number. 907-747-7771 or JW Klushkan, KLUSHKAN at alaska.edu.
When you're done, there's like an end.
Yeah.
The red phone or something.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.